What would you do if you were a kidnapped child tied up in the back of a truck at a busy rest stop, unable to scream for help, but you had one desperate chance to signal for rescue? That's exactly where this little girl found herself. Dozens of travelers walked past her without noticing. Her captor stood just feet away, pretending everything was normal. She couldn't call out, couldn't wave her hands. But she remembered something from the police dog videos she watched every night before bed. Sometimes the smallest signal can reach the right ears. So she tapped her heel against the metal truck bed, once, twice, a sound softer than a heartbeat, and somehow 14 police dogs heard it. This is the incredible true story of how a child's faith in police dogs, their extraordinary senses, and one tiny act of courage exposed a trafficking operation that shook the entire world. Where are you watching from right now? Drop your location in the comments. And if you believe animals can sense what humans miss, hit that like button. You're going to need it for this one. Now, let's begin. The desert stretched endlessly under the late afternoon sun, heat shimmering above cracked asphalt like liquid glass. The rest stop seemed ordinary. Travelers resting in shade, a trucker scrolling his phone, families unloading snacks from their cars. But at the edge of the parking lot sat an old white pickup truck, rust clinging to its sides like dried blood. To anyone passing by, it looked abandoned. Inside the truck bed, hidden behind sun-faded metal walls, lay a little girl. Dust smudged her cheeks. Her knees were pulled tightly to her chest, small wrists bound with rough rope that left angry red marks on her skin. She had been there for hours, listening to the world around her. Footsteps, car doors, voices too far away to help. Every time she tried to call out, fear choked the words before they reached her throat. The man who took her had been clear. If you make a sound, I'll come back. But even through her terror, she refused to give up hope. She scanned the rest stop, and her heart jumped. 14 German shepherds, police canines, resting in the shade beside their handlers, strong, disciplined, alert. She remembered the videos she watched every night. Police dogs could detect things humans couldn't. They could sense danger, fear, even the faintest sounds. If anyone could hear her, it would be them. With trembling hands bound by rope, she slowly shifted until she could tap her heel against the metal truck bed. The sound was barely a whisper, swallowed by wind and passing cars. Tap, tap, tap. At first, nothing happened. Then the oldest canine, a massive veteran with amber eyes, lifted his head, his ears pricked sharply forward, breathing stilled, gaze fixed on the white pickup truck. Another dog lifted its head, then another. A silent chain reaction. 14 powerful animals suddenly locked onto the truck like they were seeing something no one else could. Officer Ramon glanced down at the dogs in confusion. "What's gotten into you guys?" The dogs didn't look at him. Their focus was unbreakable. The girl tried again, tapping twice with her heel. All 14 heads snapped toward the truck. Their bodies grew tense, tails stiff, chests rising in silent alarm. Then the lead canine let out a sound, not a bark, not a growl, but a low, urgent woof, the alert call he only used when something was deeply, dangerously wrong. The handlers stiffened. The dogs had heard her. They understood. And now they were coming. The moment that urgent woof escaped, the air shifted. 14 German shepherds exploded across the sand in perfect unison, kicking up clouds of dust as they sprinted toward the white pickup truck. People screamed. Travelers jumped back, thinking the dogs were attacking. But the canines didn't bark or snarl. This was pure purpose, pure instinct. They reached the truck and surrounded it in a tight protective formation, creating a living shield around the hidden girl. Their stance wasn't aggressive, it was defensive, protective, a warning to the world that something was terribly wrong. When officers caught up, Ramon saw the little girl in the truck bed, dusty, trembling, wrists bound with rope. His blood ran cold. "They weren't attacking," he whispered. "They were responding." The crowd murmured anxiously as Ramon carefully approached. "Easy, boys. Let me see her." The dogs refused to move until they were certain she was safe. With trembling hands, Ramon cut the ropes binding her wrists. "You're safe now, sweetheart," he whispered. But the girl couldn't speak. Fear had stolen her voice. She could only point with a shaking hand toward the desert behind the rest stop. exactly where all 14 dogs were now staring with laser focus. The kidnapper was close, still watching, still planning to return. Officers followed the fresh footprints in the sand, discovering evidence of a larger operation: multiple ropes, children's belongings, tire tracks leading deeper into the desert. This wasn't his first victim. When the black SUV roared back toward the rest stop, the dogs were ready. The man who stepped out wore the same chilling smile the girl remembered from when he took her. "I'm just here for what's mine," he said with cold calculation. That was his last mistake. Rex, the lead K9, launched forward like a missile. 14 dogs followed, coordinating like a tactical unit, pinning the kidnapper before he could reach the truck. As officers arrested him, his twisted words echoed ominously. "You don't know what she is. It's not over." Later investigation revealed he was part of a trafficking ring. The girl wasn't just a random victim. She was meant to disappear forever. Hours later at the station, the little girl sat wrapped in a blanket, her voice finally returning. When Rex approached, she threw her arms around his neck. She handed Officer Ramon a folded paper with 6 words written in shaky handwriting. "Tell the dogs they saved me." Ramon swallowed hard as Rex gently licked a tear from the girl's cheek. The dogs hadn't just heard a desperate tap against metal. They had heard hope calling out in the darkness, and they had answered. This little girl's faith in police dogs and their incredible senses saved not just her life, but potentially countless others. One tiny signal became the key to breaking up an entire trafficking operation. If this story gave you chills, smash that like button and subscribe to Fur and Feather Tales for more incredible rescue stories. Drop A for the heroic K9s, A for the brave girl, and if you believe hope finds a way even in the darkest moments, which part amazed you the most? Let me know in the comments below. Your support helps us share these amazing stories of courage and survival. Thank you for being part of our Fur and Feather Tales family.